Welcome to Aimee's Kitchen. Today we're going to be cooking penne with a fresh tomato and basil sauce. This is a really simple recipe. For our sauce, we're going to be using onions, garlic, salt and pepper, tomatoes, and we'll be finishing with fresh basil. So right now I'm going to show you how to cut up the onion. So we're going to slice this in half. You're just going to cut the bottom off and throw that away. Then you're going to want to peel this first layer of the onion off. You are going to make small little slits in the onion. See how I'm not completely cutting the onion all the way to the top. So these are going to want to have very fine onions. You're going to want to keep these little slits pretty close together. And then see, so these are cutting this way, and now we're going to cut the opposite way, and again we're not cutting all the way to the back of the onion. So you need to be very careful when you're doing this. You're going to place your hand flat on the onion, then take your knife and slowly cut the onion. We're going to do that about 3 or 4 times on here, about halfway down, and then we take the onion back the opposite way and just do a nice clean cut. So now you have small little pieces of onions. So we're going to grab our olive oil. We're not going to put all this into our pan. We're going to do about a teaspoon or so. Just drizzle this in here. Let's put in our onions. So hear that nice sizzle. That's what you're going to want to hear for our onions. So then you're going to want to turn the heat back down to low. So these we're going to cook for about 2 to 3 minutes. The next thing we're going to do is turn on our water so it can boil. So I like to have mine on high heat so it boils the quickest, and put a cover on top so it catches all the steam and it boils quickly. So our onions are looking pretty good over here. So we're gonna add our garlic. This is about 3 cloves of garlic minced. It's not very fine, it's more of a rough chop. This is kind of a rustic sauce, so we don't need to have this too fine. So let's add our garlic in. We're gonna cook this for about 3 minutes or so. The next thing we're going to be doing is adding our tomatoes. This is roughly 2 large tomatoes chopped up, nice rough chop. So we're gonna add this to our sauce. So this is gonna cook for about 15 minutes or so. Okay, so now our water looks like it's boiling. Now I just wanna show you what a rolling boil looks like. It's a constant bubble. Some may refer to it as looking like a hot tub. So our water is all boiled. In a minute, I'm going to throw our pasta in there, but not yet because we still need to let our sauce cook. While our sauce is cooking, I'm going to show you how to prepare our basil. I like a lot of basil in my pasta, so I use about 7 or 8 large basil leaves. I'm just going to pile the basil leaves on top of each other like so. So you have your basil leaves, and then we're going to roll this really, really tight. It's fine if they crunch or break or whatever, we're just going to cut them. You take your knife and then you just make thin little strips with the basil. You want to remember to have a lot of pressure on the knife so it cuts all the way through the basil. Now that our sauce is going, we're going to throw our noodles in. These will cook for about 8 to 10 minutes. You need to check on the box because each noodles, they cook different amounts of time, but penne usually cooks between 8 to 10 minutes. So these are going to go in our water, and I definitely recommend putting some olive oil in our water. This is so the noodles won't stick together and it gives them a little bit of flavor. Give this a little stir and then make sure to put on your timer. Now that our pasta is all finished cooking, we're going to drain this in the sink and add it to our bowl so we can toss it with our sauce. We're gonna add our sauce to our pasta and then toss our basil in with our pasta. We're gonna sprinkle with our salt and pepper and our red pepper flakes. I'm gonna give this a little toss. Okay, so that's how you make the penne with fresh tomatoes and basil.